table. Her Excellency, the Right Honourable Dame Sendikiro, Governor-General of New Zealand.
E honore he kororia he mau ngā rongo ki runga ki te mata o te whenua, e whakaro pai i ngā tangata katoa. Aro haena ngā teina, me ngā tuakana, e noho nei i rungi te whakaro ko tahi pai marire.
Please be seated. Tēnei whetū ki te rangi, ka mau tonu, ka mau tonu. Tēnei tāngata ki te whenua, ngaru noa, haere atu rā. Nau mai, piki mai, tauti mai, ki te whare o te kāwana tianara. Ko ngā tauwhiritonga o te wā ki a tātou, i tēnei rangi. Tēnā koutou katoa. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to Government House Auckland for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge Joe Harawira, our kaumātua, and Pauline Hopa, our kuia. Tēnā kōrua. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties I perform on behalf of His Majesty, the King of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks to you for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Mr. Ward Carmel will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mrs. Leslie Milne of Auckland, for services to rowing. Well, Leslie Milne won 8 national rowing titles and was selected for the first women's crew to represent New Zealand in Europe in 1974. She competed in Masters regattas, winning gold and silver medals at the World Masters Games. She was the sole woman on the organising committee for the Lake Karapiro 1978 World Rowing Championships. She has been a coach and umpire, trained umpires and examiners, and served on numerous decision-making bodies for rowing. She was inaugural chair of the New Zealand Rowing Race Officials Association. She was lead examiner and attended regattas in Europe as a voluntary official. She was secretary of the New Zealand Women's Rowing Association. Mrs. Milne was president of Rowing New Zealand, the only woman to hold the role to date. Mrs. Leslie Milne, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Noel Davies of Auckland, for services to engineering, business and the community. Well, Noel Davies was the first non-engineer chair of the New Zealand Heavy Engineering Research Association, HERA, Executive Board. He was a voluntary board member of the New Zealand Engineering Federation. Through HERA, he led cross-sector industry initiatives and was instrumental in HERA developing a research and development-related industry advocacy role. He was a trustee and chair of the HERA Foundation, providing industry scholarships and establishing an industry member recognition awards program. He was a trustee of the Auckland Medical Research Foundation and chaired the Development and Communications Committee. He has chaired Basketball New Zealand, Baseball New Zealand, Tuatara Baseball and Tuatara Basketball. He held offices with the Navy Club Association and HMNZS Otago Association. Mr. Davies has mentored younger business leaders and entrepreneurs through the Young Presidents and Entrepreneurs organisations. Mr. Noel Davies, please come forward. Dr. Murray Williams of Paikakariki for services to wildlife conservation and science. Well, Dr. Murray Williams has contributed significantly to the New Zealand Ecological Society, Birds New Zealand and the International Ornithological Congress. His early career with the New Zealand Wildlife Service included research on game birds and the development of science-based approaches for management and hunting of game waterfowl for fish and game councils. Within the Department of Conservation, DOC, he helped establish and implement conservation programs for New Zealand's endangered waterfowl, most notably whio, the blue duck. He was involved with DOC's kakapo recovery group and edited a compendium on the history and current knowledge of kakapo. He developed and taught New Zealand's only postgraduate Master of Science degree in Ecological Restoration at Victoria University of Wellington. Dr. Williams served as a trustee of Ngā Manu Wildlife Trust on the Kapiti Coast. Dr. Murray Williams, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Eva Chen of Auckland for services to the Asian community. Well, Eva Chen has led the Happy Toddlers, a free parenting workshop for Chinese and migrant mothers facing cultural and language barriers. She referred many mothers experiencing domestic abuse and harm to mental health crisis services and law enforcement. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she co-founded the Mount Roskill Collective, and collaborated with the Ministry for Ethnic Communities to support migrant and refugee communities in need. She hosted a radio program to address the stigma of disability in the Chinese community and, with the IHC Foundation, supported parents of children with intellectual disabilities. Ms. Chen co-founded the Hawaii Project, an exchange program between Taiwanese and Māori youth. Ms. Eva Chen, please come forward. Dr. Barbara Hochstein of Rotorua for services to radiology and education. Well, Dr. Barbara Hochstein has been a consultant radiologist at Rotorua Hospital since 1999 and was clinical director for Breast Screen Aotearoa in Bay of Plenty. She was the inaugural medical advisor to the Breast Cancer Foundation. She founded and chaired the Aratika Cancer Trust, of which she is now patron and medical advisor. She is Director Registrar of Radiology Training at Rotorua Hospital for the Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Radiologists. She's been a clinical teacher of radiology for the University of Auckland. Dr. Hochstein has convened Australasian and New Zealand radiological conferences and is focused on growing the critical medical workforce of ultrasonographers. Dr. Barbara Hochstein, please come forward. Mr. Lee Hopper of Whitianga for services to property development and philanthropy. Well, Lee Hopper is Managing Director of Hopper Developments. While developing unique high-amenity residential communities with integrated commercial and retail services, including retirement villages, his developments focus on the long-term public and private good that they will bring. Through his work, he has donated land or supported the building of a range of public facilities such as sports fields, concert parks, boat ramps, marinas, and beaches. Some of the developments built by Hoppers include residential canals with high public and private waterfront amenity. Mr. Hopper sponsored the Mercury Bay Area Schools Aircraft Build program and is a regular contributor and supporter of local charities and events. Mr. Lee Hopper, please come forward. Ms. Vivian Naylor of Auckland for services to people with disabilities. Vivian Naylor was an advisor on transport and public access for people with disabilities with the Auckland Regional Authority. She is part of CCS Disability Action. She established the Attendant Care Scheme for those with disabilities and became the Community Liaison Coordinator and Barrier-Free Advisor and Educator. She helped establish the disability service Dial a Ride Transport. She is a founding trustee of Barrier Free Trust New Zealand. She has been a member of multiple panels. Ms. Naylor has presented at conferences and seminars and offers advice on universal access and design. Ms. Vivian Naylor, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the King's Service Medal, Ms. Linda Lee Odom of Auckland for services to people with disabilities and sport. Linda Lee Odom has been a long-term employee with CCS Disability Action, CCSDA. She has advocated for other people with disabilities through governance and helping them engage with sports and recreation. She volunteered on the Auckland Committee of Parafed, competing and coaching in athletics and swimming. She joined CCSDA as a recreation officer, furthering her coaching activities for disabled young people. She has volunteered at CCSDA camps and local advisory committees. Ms. Odom has been a volunteer with the Humane Society of New Zealand, taking dogs to Wilson Home for disabled children, hospitals and rest homes for pet therapy. Ms. Linda Lee Odom, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
Well, I do think Mr. Darby stole the show. New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the sentiment expressed by St. Francis of Assisi when he said, "Remember that when you leave this earth, you can take with you nothing that you have received, only what you have given, a full heart enriched by honest service, love, sacrifice, and courage." I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again for your service to our community. Kia ora, e huhi mai nei I tēnei rā. Now you will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in te reo and in English. I now invite you to stand with me and join in singing these.